However, there's no way one could imagine these purely physical phenomena could lead to understanding or insight. So I began to form the notion of not just meditation or contemplation, but something more active, and gradually drew myself into prayer or waiting on a distinct other, with this other communicating. And of course in the mystical literature, while mystical literature as a whole is all about God this and God that, the particular God is never specified. It's always God. It's not Jesus Christ or Jehovah or the Holy Spirit. These differentiations, the triunity of God, is not in any way explored by much of mystical literature. It sort of keeps the God notion abstract. It's a mental construct, and it's the contemplation within the mind, not the spirit. Occasionally the spirit spills forth, and these are the transports and ecstasies that are depicted in that statue, say, of Teresa, that Renaissance statue of Teresa being penetrated by the beams of radiating, luminescent insight from above. But the specific nature of the communication, it's all rather general, ladders and stairways and enveloping my soul's kind of thinking. Even the confusion between soul and spirit, mind and spirit of the age is a little too queasy intellectually or spiritually or even bodily for myself. I want that clear definition of body, mind and spirit. And when you have the trichotomy right, you have a tripartite God, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. You have a tripartite heaven, the first heaven, where we dwell now, the earth. The second heaven, and the intersection between the first heaven and the second heaven, it was where Adam and Eve dwelt, in a place of semi-glory, almost on the foothills of the second heaven, or the topmost level of the first heaven, this earth. They were somewhat more glorified persons than ourselves. They were bigger, they were mature, they didn't have a growing up stage, they were mature. Not that their children, had they had them in paradise, would have been born mature. I can't imagine that. And Paul the Apostle speaks of being in vision in the third heaven, where glory is, where God is, and where the wicked angels have been cast out, where they inhabit now the second heaven. They only influence this earth. They're not allowed by God. They're held back to influence this heaven. However, that's to jump ahead somewhat in understanding. Back here now, being an atheist, and finally praying. And I said to myself, because I think there was a Bible in the house, but I said to myself, if I pray and God is real, I want to know God like Moses knew God. I want to know God naked. I want to know God with no resources, with no education. Now, in my Catholic upbringing, they did have occasional readings in the church. But as we now know, the Catholic religion is all about itself. It's not really about the Bible. And for many centuries kept the Bible from the people. And I was definitely of the people in this regard. I was not from a priestly family. in Catholicism or from a family of nuns or anything like that. There was nothing religious particularly about our family. However, neither my father nor my mother swore, and I thank God for that, because I find it difficult now, or even during those years of atheism, to swear or curse or cuss. I know the words. I'm not stupid. I know all the words. I've read dictionaries and novels and books. So I know many words that many people do not know. But it's only the filthiness that dwells in the mind that will affect your life, not the casual, occasional thing. The same with theft or lying or things like that. In the churches they say, what does it take to make a liar? And they lay heavy burdens on you by saying, oh, one lie and you're a liar. Well, I'm here to tell you that doesn't make you a liar. You're a person who's told one lie. In fact, I think all people tell things that they don't know to be true, but they might believe them to be true. Mistakes or white lies, to cover or protect someone or something like that, you see. So these are not characterized as being lies, because later on I was to meet a man who was a liar. He couldn't help but lie. He even had flecks of foam at the corner of his mouth as he was once again shaping himself, not just his mouth, to shape, to create, to make a lie. And he was a liar and a con man, and with a huge record of conning people. That is what a liar is. Almost an incorrigible man. And he went out of his way to prey on Christian folk and cheated many Christian people from money, thinking that he was getting away with a great victory. But really, the sums of money in terms of a lifetime's earnings are very small, really should not affect one at all. But he thought he was getting away with it. He was definitely a liar. What am I saying here? I'm saying I had a sin life. I liked women, I had drugs, I smoked a great deal. I had the pride of life. I was pleased with myself. I was pleased with my career as an artist. Check this. No, how it's going. It's going all right. The pride of life. Yes, neither did I drink or gamble particularly. So money was not a great thing, but the pride of life, the sensuality, the beauty, or particularly of women, was a great temptation. Anyway, I was away from God.